Reading through the Bible, chapter 15, God's covenant with Abram. After this, the word of the Lord came to Abram in a vision. Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your very great reward. But Abram said, O sovereign Lord, what can you give me since I remain childless, and the one who will inherit my estate is Eliezer of Damascus? And Abram said, You have given me no children, so a servant in my household will be my heir. Then the word of the Lord came to him, This man will not be your heir, but a man coming from your own body will be your heir. He took him outside and said, Look at the heavens and count the stars, if indeed you can count them. Then he said to him, So shall your offspring be. Abram believed the Lord, and he credited to him as righteousness. He also said to him, I am the Lord, or I am Yahweh. This is the technical name for God. I am Yahweh, who brought you out of Ur of the Chaldeans to give you this land to take possession of it. But Abram said, O sovereign Lord, how can I know that I will gain possession of it? So the Lord said to him, Bring me a heifer, a goat, and a ram, each 3 years old, along with a dove and a young pigeon. Abram brought all these to him, cut them in two, and arranged the halves opposite each other. The birds, however, he did not cut in half. Then birds of prey came down on the carcasses, but Abram drove them away. As the sun was setting, Abram fell into a deep sleep, and a thick and dreadful darkness came over him. Then the Lord said to him, Know for certain that your descendants will be strangers in a country not their own, and they will be enslaved and mistreated 400 years. But I will punish the nation they serve as slaves, and afterward they will come out with great possessions. You, however, will go to your fathers in peace and be buried at a good old age. In the 4th generation your descendants will come back here, for the sin of the Amorites has not yet reached its full measure. When the sun had set and darkness had fallen, a smoking firepot with a blazing torch appeared and passed between the pieces. On that day, the Lord made a covenant with Abram and said, To your descendants I give this land, from the river of Egypt to the great river, the Euphrates, the land of the Kenites, Kenizzites, Cadmonites, Hittites, Perizzites, Rephaites, Amorites, Canaanites, Girgashites, and Jebusites. Now this is a promise that God has made to Abram. He's going to give him all of this land. And Abram doesn't have a son yet, so that causes a problem. When Abram went down to Egypt and his wife Sarai was taken into the court of Pharaoh, that was a problem because that would have hindered his own son from being born. And then we have him saying that the servant is not going to be the heir, but a son born from his own loin will be the heir. And in fact, it's going to be specified that this is a son from Sarah, not from some other woman. So that is going to be a factor. And then the fact that they have so many of these descendants who live in Egypt for 400 years, this is not going to affect it either, because God is going to bring all of them out of Egypt at one time. And all of these names that are mentioned in verse 19 are living in the land at that time. And the reason that God can't do it now is that the sin of the Amorites has not become fully developed. When their sin is full, then God is going to throw them out of the land.